You can tell. You walk straight into a business and you just know straight away, not everyone's all in here. And that's that whole conversation about how they turn up to a training room, how they come into a meeting, whether or not they're actually in a position that their desk is tidy, the types of conversations I have with others, and how they meet and greet people on their way in. One of the things that we learned really quickly was about this thing called servant leadership. And we were working with this guy by the name of Howard Behar, who was from Starbucks. And he was saying that servant leadership is all about this idea that you're actually here to serve others. So even if you make it to the top of an organization, if you believe that that's the CEO, then actually you've got to flip it the other way, because you're actually at the bottom of the organization there to serve all of those people in terms of their career progression, providing a great workplace, providing phenomenal opportunity, and being the type of person that can steer the business through troubling times and ultimately allow it to be incredibly successful regardless of the market conditions. And this is ultimately what you've got to think, is that now more than ever before, you need an entire team that's all in. So imagine that ultimately you just listed out every single person that works inside of your organization and you just think plus, dot, minus. How are they going right now? Is this person a plus? Are they phenomenal? Are they doing great work? Are they a dot? You know, there's been a few issues, a few challenges. Or are they ultimately a minus, where you're losing productivity, they're difficult to manage, they're painful? And that's that basic idea that if ever you have to talk about someone for more than 1 or 2 conversations with your executive leadership team, you already know that there's a problem. And ultimately, we treat people how we think we're going to treat them, like 90 days before it even happens. So you already know when someone's going to leave your organization about 90 days before that occurs, because you ultimately start treating them differently. So now more than ever before, get back to the values. Let's say, for example, that we use one of the clients that we do a lot of work with in Brisbane, and they have a set of values which they go to call RICE. So respect, innovation, community, and excellence. And ultimately, you just think about it. Okay, great. So if I took Josh Fegan right now, would I say that he's respectful? Is he a plus, dot, or a minus? When it actually comes to innovation, do I think he's a plus, dot, or a minus? When it comes to his community involvement in creating a community inside of our organization, do I think he's a plus, dot, or a minus? And then when it actually comes to excellence, is he really a plus, dot, or a minus? And what you actually will start to find is that any single time that you've got a loss of energy, you've got this misalignment, you've got friction inside of your organization, is because someone's actually not living up to the values of that organization. And it's really important that as a leader, that you get everyone all in on really living those values. Inside of our team, we talk about performing at our best in everything we do, about innovating and constantly improving, about believing in people in their dreams, about working free of time and space, of being in that position that we do all of those things to allow people to become phenomenal around what actually happens. And the challenge is that as a leader, is that you need to live out the values better than anyone else. And everyone in the organization has got to live those values out as well. And what we've learned, you get one little bit of misalignment that ultimately spreads across the entire organization. So it's time to get all in and to make sure that you're having great conversations with people around what our culture really is and how it's driven by those essential values that allows you to play the game at the highest levels.